Goldstream Park is on the southern coast of Vancouver Island, British Columbia coastal scenery at its best. Tens of thousands of rivers and streams empty into the Pacific Ocean along the British Columbia and Alaska coasts. The Goldstream River is only a few kilometers long, so why have all these seabirds come to this little river in November? The river is full of chum salmon that were born here. They have returned to lay their eggs and start the cycle all over again.
In this one small river, there are many thousands of chum and just a smattering of other species. The park promo says it's a world-class salmon run, but that's perhaps a lot of hype. However, it's a huge visitor attraction. You need a small car just to get into the parking lot, and it comes in handy to negotiate between the giant Douglas fir trees. They were here when Cook discovered the Pacific coast of Canada. So were the salmon, of course. The gulls are not here to welcome the fish, they're here to eat them.
There are two choice delicacies, the eyes and the eggs, as we shall see in a moment. The fish fight the strong river current all the way. The female hollows out a basin in the gravel using her tail. The male guards the whole operation. They're totally oblivious to the dead fish shooting by. This is in fact the fate that awaits almost all the fish. Few, if any, swim back. The eggs are not laid until after dark, just to fool the gulls. However, come morning, guess what? The gulls dive for the eggs lying in the gravel at the bottom.
If you want to see salmon dissected, then this is the place for you. School groups make a beeline for it. The kids look a bit uneasy at the sight of blood, but the storyline is quite gripping. The salmon's cycle of life and death is a remarkable story of interest to young and old. That's why we keep visiting Goldstream at this time of year.
First Nations people, the politically correct term these days for Indians, are allowed to catch the spawning fish. Others are not allowed to take fish. It's not really a pretty sight, but almost all the fish are about to die anyway, and there are thousands of them even in this tiny river. The kids have a bit of a problem with the process.
There is a whole lot more going on here than is immediately obvious. Fish byproducts are being scattered by the gulls, of course, but also by bear and raccoon. They run off into the forest at night with dead fish. A month after the end of the salmon run, everything except the bones will be gone.
We came back to see the very last act of the show. The gulls were still screeching and feasting. We walked to Tidewater, where the Goldstream runs into the Pacific Ocean. This is where it all started, and in fact where it all ends.
The area is more open than under the craggy shoreline further back. A new arrival circles overhead. These are bald eagle, come for their share of the free lunch. There are hundreds of them, easily identified by their white head and tail. They came late and apparently prefer rancid fish. Oh, did we mention the smell of this place?
It's bad. The river is nearly cleaned up now. Tiny salmon will leave for their Pacific adventure in a few years' time. Probably in less than 8 years' time, they'll be back to restart the whole process. In the meantime, the feast is over, and the birds will have to work a whole lot harder for their food. No more easy pickings until next November.